Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am just recapping my PCOS story. So what I have gone through from the beginning to now, everything in between. I'm gonna try and just recap it. So let's just start from the beginning of my period. Yes, good old period, Aunt Flo. The first period I ever got, yeah, we're going there, was when I was 15, and I was a late bloomer as far as my period went. I mean, I was fully developed and everything, but all my other friends, I'm pretty sure, got their period when they were like 13, and I wasn't till I was 15. And I remember it was literally right after I turned 15, because I turned 15 in April, and then May or June came around, and that's when I got it. So from the get-go, I was pretty late and on getting my period, whereas my sisters had gotten it a lot sooner. So we were kind of beforehand thinking maybe something was wrong, or I was thinking about, you know, going to the doctor, getting evaluations. But it turned out, got my period, everything was good. It was a little painful. In fact, I thought I had caught something, because I was like, why does my stomach and why does everything hurt down there? And then boom, she came. So after that, pretty much every month I got a period. Honestly, every month. I want to say it was about 5 months into having my own cycles, maybe 6, that I was put on birth control, because I did have a boyfriend at the time who I had been with for a while. And of course, as a teenager, we're like, yeah, we'll go on birth control. It's just so super easy and cool, and like, yeah. Honestly, that was seriously the only reason, because other than that, my period was normal, I had clear skin, everything. So I went on birth control, boom, at, I want to say 15 and a half, 16 maybe. I was on birth control all the way up until 19, when I decided, I am going to try and just get off birth control, because at the time I was really big into working out, and I had read that if you're off of birth control, you can make quicker gains. I know. And so I tried to go off birth control, and nothing happened. I want to say 6 months went by, and I never got anything. So I went to the doctor. They gave me a shot in the hip, which triggered, basically it was a progesterone shot, and triggered my period to come, even though I didn't ovulate, whatever. They gave me a shot, I had a period, and then they put me right back on birth control, which at the time I was like, you know what, you're the doctors, you know what's best for me and my body and healing it, I'll do what you say. So I went on birth control yet again, and I want to say, I don't know how long I was on it, but I tried to go off of it one more time. I really don't know why. I think it was because it really freaked me out that I didn't get my period by myself the first time I tried to go off of it. So it's like, I'm gonna try it again and see what happens. Now it wasn't that long after that. I'd probably like when I was 20 maybe, or 21. And so I went off of it, and again, nothing happened. In fact, this time I just stayed off of it. I ended up getting horrible, horrible acne. I ended up growing a mustache. You know, it was thick peach fuzz, but to me it was a full-blown mustache. I even got a weird facial structure. I lost a lot of weight, and I leaned out. So I felt, honestly, I would always compare it. I was like, why do I feel like a man? Honestly, I went through big depression spells, and I just felt sorry for myself. And why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like a man? I literally feel like a man. My boobs deflated. I'm serious, they deflated. It was just like I'm just gonna be honest, I had C cups, and then I looked down and I felt like they flattened out, like they just pancaked, and I was like, what is going on? I'm growing a mustache, my boobs just went away, my jawline's getting weird, I'm getting super, super muscular and lean, and I'm not getting my period. Like, someone needs to help me. So I went back to the doctor, and they said, go back on the pill, it'll take care of all your symptoms. And you know, being a 20-year-old, I'm like, okay, anything to get rid of this, you know, end this. So I went back on the pill, and It did. It took care of my acne for the most part and most of my symptoms, I would say, but I was still very anxious, depressed, and it still like eked my mind like, okay, what's going on here? Why? Like my body's obviously not doing what it's supposed to, and it really kind of started to freak me out, especially at this point. I had been with the same boyfriend I had been from the very beginning. We were moving into our first house, I think at 22, and I wanted to, you know, think about getting married and possibly having kids, so it was really kind of wearing on me. And at that time, I started really researching what PCOS was in depth, what caused it, if there was anybody out there who had cured it, which there was. I want to let you all know there were, and how they did it, and just everything that involved PCOS. And that's when I really, at the same time, started to change my diet to a very clean diet, meaning no processed junk. It was all whole foods from the source. I started incorporating smoothies, and that's probably for about 3 to 6 months I did this, okay? And I had drastic changes in my skin. My skin got a lot clearer, but it was not perfect, and it was not where I wanted it to be. And now my phone's ringing, so now I have to answer it. So at about age 23, I was still on birth control. 22, no, it was 22. And I started to incorporate green smoothies into my diet. I've been really cleaning up my diet, ditching anything processed, and getting rid of any dairy and gluten in my diet. This cleared up my skin, although the birth control did a good job at clearing up my skin, but it wasn't 100%, and I still would get a cyst like basically once a month or once a week. So I was still searching for answers. So I cleaned up my diet, and my mindset was I'd get my habits in line as far as my lifestyle and my eating habits, still taking the pill so I don't have to deal with the drastic symptoms, and then slowly get off the pill. Slowly, I mean, you can't, you just get off. And then I'll have these habits enacted in my life, so it'll just kind of be a smooth sail from no symptoms to no symptoms and healed. So I basically stayed on birth control for another year, and I kept up with my clean eating habits till finally, a little before I got married, I was like, okay, let's get off birth control. Because I already knew that, I'd been reading up that most people, when they want to have a family, should start thinking about it for 18 months to a year before. And I also knew, coming from my background, recent background, that I definitely needed to prepare and get ready and get my body in baby making and condition. So I got off the pill, and my symptoms never came back, I will say. So that kind of worked out in my favor as far as my eating habits and stuff, because my skin stayed fairly clear. It was not perfect, and I did still wax my lip, but it wasn't as frequent as way before when I hadn't been on the pill at all. So when I went off the pill, nothing changed, honestly. Nothing changed besides the fact that I didn't get my period. So I waited 6 months, still didn't get my period. Went to the doctor, they gave me that progesterone shot again, and this time, so the first time I got the progesterone shot, I did have a full-blown period. This time it was almost like just spotting. And I called her and I told her what happened, and she's like, you know what, that still counts as a period. Even though, no, it wasn't. But go ahead and you can come back in and we'll do blood work, yada yada. So they did blood work and they did an ultrasound, and she said, okay, your ovaries are clean at this point, so you're in the clear for that, but you still don't have your period, and your testosterone is high in your blood work, so you still have it, PCOS. And I was like, okay. So I have 2 symptoms. I have 2 symptoms. And what got me was polycystic ovarian syndrome. Polycystic ovarian. And I didn't have anything on my ovaries. My ovaries were clean. At that point. In the beginning they weren't, but at that point they were. So I attribute that to my clean eating, and she did too. She was like, you know, you're not having the normal symptoms of people with PCOS because of how clean you eat. So you are managing them. But I was still gung-ho at really solving the problem and getting back to hormonal balance and having a period and ovulating. So honestly, it's just been nothing but reading and researching for me. When finally I made the leap of going vegan in November of 2015. And the first month of me going vegan, I ovulated for the first time in 10 years. In 10 years! And it was so funny because I hadn't taken an ovulation test. Well, no, I had. But they'd all been negative, and it had been a long time, but I still had them in my kitchen. Yeah, I keep them. I keep my ovulation and pregnancy test in my kitchen. No, in my bathroom under my sink. And my nipples were really sore, and I was like, this is weird. This isn't normal for me ever, even on the pill. And I mean, when they were sore, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could be pregnant. And I decided to take a pregnancy test. It was false. And then I took an ovulation test and it said yes. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. And I didn't expect to get pregnant on that time because it had been a full 10 years since my body had done anything on its own. So it was, we still baby danced, but I wasn't expecting it, you know. So when my period came around, which it did, 14 days later it came after that ovulation test, and it was a little painful, but nothing I couldn't handle, whatever. I was overjoyed, honestly. I was overjoyed and relieved. 6 months after that, and I continued to eat a clean vegan lifestyle. I had a positive ovulation test. Again, my nipples got really sore, and then 14 days later, a period. And then I'm here, and I'm pretty sure I ovulated about 10 days ago. So we'll see. There were so many things I did in the past 4 years of me really working hard with my lifestyle that I don't want to pinpoint and tell people, this is what I did, you should do it too and you'll get your period back. Because I know that false hope. I went to a couple holistic doctors, including regular MDs, and so many of them I really put my trust and faith in to get me back to being healthy and fertile. And I watched so many YouTube videos to where I was like, oh, that worked for her, I'm gonna try it. And nothing ever worked. No supplement, nothing. So that's why I'm really so passionate about consistently sharing what I'm doing and what's working for me, so you can try it out too and see if it works for you. The most important things I've learned along this journey is, for me, it's consistently eating and including fats in my diet, which I know goes against some things, but vegan fats, because the other fats didn't work for me. So avocados, nuts, seeds, coconut oil, no other oil, olive oil, nope, only coconut oil. I'm talking from my own experience, so just take what you will. My mindset, having a positive and hopeful mindset and having faith that what's supposed to happen will happen. Whenever I honestly let go of what's going on and just do my best, that's when I ovulate. And when I'm eating consistently and making sure I'm intaking all the calories I need to be, and laying off the hardcore working out and just enjoying life and what it has and staying active, but not stressing my body out, mind, spirit, physical, all of that, keeping those in tune and just relaxing and staying positive, I've progressed so much. Make sure you're eating the right foods. And when I say getting in those calories, I mean real calories from nutrient-dense foods, leafy greens, fruits, vegetables, herbs, stuff that really nourish your body. And let go. let go of the control because it's only holding you back. Let go, do what you can, stay positive, focus on your goal, and tell yourself you can do it because you will do it, sister. You will. Just know that. I don't care what spot you're at, you will. You will get to the spot you need to be when you need to be there. Just do your best for the time being and let go. Let me know about any experiences you've had in your PCOS journey. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, nothing but love from me to you. Peace out, guys. See you later. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Poo. Ugh.